Hey everyone, this is Paul Gale from paulgalenetwork.com, and thank you for joining me today for video game news. It is December 24th, 2020, and these are the top stories of the day. Before I kick things off, I just want to say, if you celebrate, Merry Christmas Eve. It was a really nice day today on my side with my family, and I hope that you all had a good one as well. And here's to a nice Christmas tomorrow, and in general, happy holidays, season's greetings, and hope you all enjoy whatever you're celebrating, and if not, just enjoy the nice winter break, ideally. If you're off from school or if you're in the working world, just in general, safe, pleasant times. All right, now let's get to business. First up, courtesy of Famitsu, the Japanese magazine that supplies our weekly Japanese video game software and sales charts. This is presented, as always, through the ResetEra.com forums and put together nicely from Chris1964, so thank you. I'm going to go over this past week's software sales, and coming in at number one is, once again, Momotaro Dentetsu for Nintendo Switch, with a really impressive 209,000 copies sold for the week, getting close to that 1 million mark. These last 2 weeks of the year, by the way, are going to be really exciting. Maybe last 3, but this week 51, it's got some big stuff. Number 2 is Animal Crossing New Horizons for Nintendo Switch with 95,000, a really big jump from the previous week. Both of these saw a big jump, 25% and 33% respectively. Animal Crossing, just physical, is over 6.2 million. Ring Fit Adventure came in at number 3 with 58,000 copies sold, up 18% from the previous week. Now it has officially passed the 2 million mark. It has sold more copies in 2020 than it did in 2019. Really great to see. It actually also got from 1 million to 2 million faster than it did from 0 to 1 million. Let's see if it could get to 3 million and if it could do it more quickly than it did the first 2 million, respectively, 1 and 1, at some point in 2021. We'll see. The word of mouth is strong with that one, that's for sure. Number 4, another Nintendo Switch title, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, that evergreen that doesn't go away, with 44,000, up 39% from last week. Number 5 was Pikmin 3 Deluxe, 40,000, up 33% from last week. This 407,000 total, if you include digital, it's already ahead of any other Pikmin game to date, and that's awesome. I really want to see this series continue to do well and the inevitable Pikmin 4 to be a big splash. At number 6 is Minecraft on Nintendo Switch at 35,000, up 38% from last week. Number 7 is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, jumped up a nice 46% with 33,000. Just the physical edition alone, 3.96 million pretty much. It's got 41,000 away from hitting 4 million physical. It'll happen in the next week or two. Super Mario Party at number 8, sorry, I lost my track for a second there. 30,000 at 1.6 million physical, up 34% from last week. At number 9 is Super Mario 3D All-Stars, and that's at 28,000 for the week, up 50%, 455,000 total, just physical. That's almost 500,000, really nice to see. And at 10 is Clubhouse Games 51 Worldwide Classics, another Nintendo Switch title, this one up 84% from previous week, 24,502 copies total. I know my image blocks the bottom right corner of the screen, so that's why I say all of these. Overall, it was a very healthy software week. As you can see, it was Nintendo domination. It was 10 Nintendo Switch games and nothing else on any other platform. Now, something interesting is going to happen. You know, weeks don't necessarily begin, or I should say years don't necessarily begin Sunday through Monday, or Sunday through Saturday, Sunday through Saturday, Sunday through Saturday, and you know, all 52 weeks a year in that pattern. You have the start of a year having a couple of days from a previous year, the end of a year, you know, kind of shifting into the next year by a few days. So technically, these charts are from the 14th through the 20th, and the next charts will be going through the 27th, right? However, then you still have the day of the 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, and 31st, but that goes into week 53 territory because 2 more days that make up the week, January 1st and 2nd, fall in 2021. So Famitsu will either call that week 1 of 2021 or week 53 of 2020. If you wanted to get it broken down and be more specific, I would say that take 5/7 of that total and apply it to 2020. And there you would have your more or less accurate look at what was the sales total for that week in 2020. And you'd have to go back to January 2020 and see that first week. And was it a part of 2019's or 2020's, and adjust it accordingly. You know, if it was 3/7 for this year or that year, etc. But if we have just one more week of official counting for 2020, there's going to be some big numbers that help make 2020 one of Nintendo Switch's most stunning years ever. And well, it already is the best ever in Japan, but you know, with 2 more weeks, it's going to be pretty insane. And I'm going to show you what I mean by that in hardware right here. You can see in hardware this huge amount of sales, 263,000. That's over 250,000 units sold for just this past week in Japan. Up over last week by a good amount, almost 40,000 up. Not quite as high as last year's 291,000, but it is enough to hit 17 million for this year, 2020 in Japan. Now you look at this number right here, and this is one that we want to focus on. 5,678,770. You know, we need 320,300 or so more copies, more Nintendo Switch consoles to be sold next week if we want Nintendo Switch to hit 6 million, which is a very hard number that comes very infrequently in Japan for one platform to sell in 1 year. That would be kind of tough because that's a big jump over what this week did. You know, you're looking at another 70,000 in order to achieve that, and it also is higher than it was last year. But where week 52 is this time around is in that peak Christmas holiday. Don't forget, what's happening right now through this Sunday is going to be reported next Thursday. And that's how our week 52 in Japan is lining up. So I expect, unlike these last couple of weeks to be down a little bit, next week we're going to see a bump up. And it may or may not hit 6 million, but if we count that week 53 in here, which I think we should count 5/7 of it, I think Nintendo Switch will hit 6 million. Even if we don't, though, it's going to be close. It's going to be something like 310 million and just be a little bit shy, or it will do the full 330,000 that it needs to and pass it, maybe even a little more. But anyways, this is going to be exciting to follow next week. PlayStation 5 at number 2 at 17,000. It's up over the previous week, which is good, but for a brand new system to be out for several weeks and not even hit 250,000 isn't that great. I know it's partially stock, partially interest in current software available, but we'll see if it can get more ground. I'm sure it will in time. PS4 at number 3 with 10,000. 3DS at 4 with 583, Xbox Series brand of platforms with 375, and Xbox One at 33. It's actually something. The Xbox Series right now is pretty much parallel in terms of sales week on corresponding to Xbox One sales from when it came out several years ago. Both were down from Xbox 360 and from the original Xbox. I think that Series has more potential than Xbox One, partially because, one of their models, the Xbox Series S, is a lot cheaper than the PlayStation 5 non-disc version. It's also smaller, which that form factor helps out. But it's all going to come down to the games, and if Microsoft could tap into that Japanese market a little bit more. But I think Xbox Series S and X should do better in percentage relationship to PlayStation 5 than Xbox One did to PlayStation 4. But it's too early to tell. Another interesting thing is right now, Wii U is actually outperforming PlayStation 5 for these first 5 weeks or so in Japan. The rest of the world is a different story. PS5 is on fire everywhere else, but in Japan, not doing so hot. But that's the takeaway from this week. All of it is fact in front of you, and some of it is my opinions / thoughts on what could happen, and my breakdown of how I would rate things, how I view things in the whole 5/7 manner in terms of weeks and whatnot, and for that matter, retroactively adjusting that first week of January. Anyhow, enough sales talk. Next up, we got a little bit of a rumor, and it looks like NVIDIA may launch the GeForce RTX 3080 Ti in January. The Ti would take some buffs, take some nerfs, and make another well-rounded card that may be better for you. But it could be a paper launch, and if that's the case, don't expect a lot of stock. That would be a problem because, it's amazing. NVIDIA could sell maybe not as many as they want, but they could sell a lot more if they had more inventory and if bots didn't chew up, orders and whatnot, because what they're giving you, whether you're getting a 3070, 80, or 90, is a lot of bang for your buck. People were not expecting them to be that affordable and to be that strong based on the performance. So if they could get the stock down better by the time the 3080 Ti comes out, if it indeed does in January, which I think it will, then that'd be great, because we'll see a lot of beautiful next-gen games pushing some envelopes, hopefully, and I want to see these chips doing as much as they can. I want to see them struggle next generation. I want to see the world of Grand Theft Auto 6 just looking so stunning and so big in scope, and have max resolution, max settings, max frames per second, highest polygon counts and shaders and whatnot on a 3080 Ti or a 3090. But stay tuned for January for more if this comes to. Next up, there's a user on YouTube by the name of Hikakin TV, and you can go to his YouTube channel. It's HIKAKIN TV, and he got the opportunity to go to Super Nintendo World, which I'm showing you a little bit of his video. It's a rather long video. It's approximately half an hour, and it's pretty neat. We get to see a little bit more footage that wasn't shown in the Mr. Miyamoto presentation. A couple of different camera angles. Some more of Princess Peach's castle. And then just that shot of this is what it looks like when you go in the park. It looks really cool. Everything is nicely animated, really pretty colors. You don't see him ride anything, so we're not going to get to look behind the scenes exactly and see, what does the Yoshi ride entail 100%, or what does the Mario Kart ride look like completely, but it's pretty neat regardless. Thought I'd bounce around his video a little bit and show you. He tries some food. He shows you what Bowser's spikes look like from up close, from behind the back. He tries out some games. apparently we have some ads as well. Yeah, like I said, I wasn't going to play the whole thing or anything, but oh, that's convenient. An ad for a Nintendo Switch game, good. But like I said, Hikaken TV, if you want to go to his YouTube channel and see the rest of that video, I recommend it. It's pretty cool. And even though I can't understand Japanese as much as I would like, you can still tell by his expression that he's pretty excited to be there, so that's always nice to see. And finally, I've got this photo. And this photo is pretty new. Well, new in a way, because it's a nice picture of the whole park and how it's presented and what this vision looks like, how it came together. And it's really quite awesome. Of course, we've seen many times different shots, different angles, sets, drawings, different illustrations, and even official artwork. But this right here gives a nice clean look at the park, and I really want to go in here and I want to see this entire Yoshi ride and what it looks like, because it looks like it's pretty long. It looks like it's going through a few layers, and that's exciting. And this Mario Kart ride, I don't know to you if it looks big or doesn't look big, but from this map it doesn't look that large. But when you go inside and you see just how wide it is and how deep it is and how many layers tall it is, you really start to realize, like, oh no, it's a pretty big ride. They probably have a decent amount of track in there that spins in and out and goes up and down a level, and the fact that you could ride it a couple of different times and experience it differently, that's exciting too. So I thought I'd show that. Yeah, the only thing that's missing is the warp pipe down here that you walk into before you get into Peach's Castle. But yeah, that's gonna do it for Video Game News with Paul Gale Network today. Like I said earlier, Merry Christmas Eve to all of you. I may or may not present a video tomorrow, but if I don't, Merry Christmas. Hope you all take care, stay healthy, stay happy, enjoy some good food, some family time, some presents, perhaps some gift giving. And if you're going solo, to be on the really safe side, props to you for keeping that social distancing up there. And hang in, you'll have some more fun sooner or later. Let's all try to keep safe and healthy and happy. All right, take care. This is PGN signing out. Have a good one. Bye.